NFL Fantasy Live, and we got this from Bengals beat writer Kelsey Conway, who posted on Twitter, Ja'Marr Chase isn't practicing again today. He showed up as the team finished stretching, so another holdout wide receiver. We talked about Brandon Ayuk at the top of the show.
We talked about Ja'Marr Chase, too.
We did as
in
well.
That blind date when I was set up with a guy who's ghosting us.
He's been ghosting the Bengals so far. We'll see how long this continues and how much it impacts his draft stock in fantasy as we get to this final weekend of full fantasy drafts. Okay, Rank, picture this.
Yeah.
It's draft night.
Yeah.
You got your board set. Everything's great. The food is good. The drinks are chilled. You're feeling great. And then all of a sudden, in the middle of the first round, your whole plan gets blown up, right? Everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth or until like 3 quarterbacks go in the middle of the first round. What do? What is the one piece of advice you would give somebody that's approaching their draft when things maybe go sideways?
Well, and it's not necessarily a bad thing because we were doing the NFL Fantasy Live draft on yesterday, and we're sitting there. I'm at 9. Where were you, like 11
I was
or something
11,
like that? So we're sitting there watching this draft unfold, and for some reason, Bijan Robinson just kept tumbling, and I'm like, this can't be this. And then you look at some of them, like, this is why we shouldn't have producers doing this draft. Like, and get, no disrespect to them. But, like, Bijan Robinson was there, and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to take him at number 9. That wasn't my plan. I figured I was going to get Anthony Brown or whatever.
Not Anthony Richardson.
No.
Saquon Barkley was
somebody.
Sure.
Listen, I don't know what I was going to do.
A.J. Brown, that's who you're looking at.
A.J. Brown. What is wrong with me? This is how draft season's been going. But no, when Bijan Robinson's there, then I make the adjustment. And I keep expecting, I was expecting to get Drake London in the second round, but I'm like, well, now I got Robinson. I can't take Drake London, so I had to adjust. And Jonathan Taylor was there. So I didn't really want to go with 2 running backs to start that draft, or at least not go. What am I playing, tennis? Like back and forth? But I would have gone, but I made the adjustment. And I did what I needed to do.
Yeah, I think you also have to sort of be, I always say be like water, the
amoeba.
The Bruce Lee theory. I would also tell folks, you don't necessarily have to get a second quarterback or a second tight end. In most leagues, you only start one guy at each position. If you decide you're going to spend the draft capital to get a top-level quarterback or a top-level tight end, you've staked your claim that this is going to be your guy aside from, the bye week, that this is going to be the guy you start every week. So you don't necessarily have to go and get another guy later. Now, if you decide to wait on the position, if you say you're going to wait till like the 9th round or so to get a quarterback, then it does make sense to kind of double up. You maybe want one upside guy, say a Jaden Daniels, with another kind of steady week-to-week guy, maybe a Jared Goff or a Matthew Stafford. That's when I think you can double up on the position. Same with tight end. If you don't reach for, say, a Kelsey or a Laporta and you want to wait on, say, a guy like Pat Freiermuth, then it does make sense to maybe go get yourself a second tight end. But otherwise, use those other draft positions to get extra running backs or wide receivers that you can get on your roster. Okay, so now those are the things that you want to avoid potentially. Everybody wants to feel like they're smarter than everybody else in their room. What's one thing that you are thinking that maybe nobody else in your league is thinking?
Well, I take a lot of time to understand the way the rosters are constructed, the scoring system, and so many people just go into drafts and they look at, somebody's cheat sheet, somebody's rankings or everything like that. But it doesn't matter because if you're in a league where you draft just 2 or you just start 2 wide receivers, that's incredibly different than a league where you have to start 3. Or can you flex a tight end? These are things that you need to know before you go into your draft because you want to have all that stuff locked in. And I was in there, I was wondering, for a while, like, why am I not doing so well in one of these home leagues? And it was because I didn't realize, like, oh, yeah, you know what? There's just 2 wide receivers. I should get a second running back before I get a third wide receiver. And I started paying off.
Yeah, no, exactly. I had a draft where I had 3 wide receivers and a flex. I'm like, well, I can just load up on wide receivers because I can potentially start 4 of them in this league. Maybe not go so heavy on the running back position. For me, I think we always talk about drafting defenses, and you obviously want to wait a long time to do that. But when people do, you generally look at the quality of the defense. Hey, the Jets, they're good. The Browns are good. The Niners are good. Let me draft them. Don't think that way because chances are you're going to go through a lot of defenses over the course of the season. You're probably going to stream the position. Think short term. Look at the first 2 or 3 weeks of the season, see what the matchups are, and use that as the defense you pick. If you see a defense that's going against several bad offenses, that's maybe who you lean into because chances are in a few weeks you're going to switch it out for somebody else. And the defense you have in week 1 is probably not going to be the defense you have in week 16 or 17.
Yeah, and that's the best way to go about it. Stream defense is where you can.